But I guess doing a lot of this in hopes to remind myself on a regular basis why I'm doing this. I used to not believe in anything. Now I guess I believe in like, everything. Um, we're headed somewhere that I don't understand. Why we don't understand where we're headed. And if we do claim to understand, why are we acting as if we don't understand? Let me take you back. Let me take you back to a time when I was just a kid. I was just a young kid on the internet, and I liked to ride skateboards and look at stupid stuff on the internet. I was doing that. I was skating. I came inside and got on the internet, and somebody told me that www was 666. Mind you, I was a kid. I didn't know what that meant, and I really didn't care. But then there came a time in my life when I started to believe in things, and I looked at that completely different. And once I looked at that completely different, I ended up, I guess the reason why I started to believe in everything is because if this theory is correct, everything that's taken place since the time I heard that makes sense. And I guess I'm just waiting for the day for it to not make sense. I want to play this video back one day and say, on this day, that stopped making sense. But let's say it does make sense. Let's just hypothetically say that www is 666. And by that, I mean the name of the man who will be known as the Antichrist. Lots of different names. We're just going to blanket it Antichrist. But like the Antichrist. But not immediately. First, we had to build this system of control of information. We'd have to build the beast system. And let's hypothetically say that the World Wide Web, the WWW, is essentially the beast system. The internet is essentially the beast system. I know, crazy, whatever, but play along. So for years and years and years and years, we're feeding this beast system all of our thoughts, our desires, our wishes, our interests, our hobbies, our favorite everything. But even that wasn't enough. So because we weren't able to instantaneously give information to the World Wide Web, the beast system, the hive mind that is the beast system, instantaneously. So we had to develop tools that we could take this World Wide Web, this internet, this beast system with us wherever we go. But first, before we give out these tools, because people are aware currently, prior to the iPhone, prior to 9/11, they are aware of, like, hey, I don't want all of this everywhere. They think that anyway. Then 9/11 happens, and then, okay, so Patriot Act gets signed. All right, now government, now those in charge have access to whatever it is that we post, that we look at, that we type, that we search, that we say, see, hear, and do. But then they give us the tools, the instant. And by that time, we've done forgotten. And hey, look, here's a picture of me and everything. And then after we're given the tools to instantaneously tell everybody how we feel about, well, at this point, we're just telling our friends and family. But then you develop these platforms where people can instantaneously let everybody associated with that particular platform aware of what they're seeing, doing, liking, not liking. Um, I know, I know, I'm crazy. I get it. But let's just say, again, hypothetically, just follow along. So we've been building this beast system, www 666, Antichrist beast system, right? But it's not a person. So you're obviously wrong. You're obviously crazy, Dylan. I I get that. But here's the thing. Once once I understood what that meant all of those years ago, I understood that why the Antichrist had to be, at least what I truly believe is the Antichrist, is this: it will be a not even artificial intelligent, but an alien intelligent digital representation of whatever that is to us. Why everybody who's said, Dylan, it's not because it's not a man and it's got to be a man. This is exactly why it can't be a man. Because there is no man on this planet who the whole rest of the world's going to subject themselves to. But if I asked you, what has every man of every race, creed, nationality, ethnicity, religion subjected themselves to? And I'm not wrong. You might say there's some indigenous tribe somewhere in the Amazon who doesn't use this. Wrong. We gave Starlink and iPhones to even tribes lost for centuries in the Amazon, and within 9 months, they ruined their entire. Not they, the people, but the technologies had ruined the cultures and customs of those tribes, and they won't exist because they're just not going to have children. That's a big part of the plan. And that's another reason why I think this theory of all of this being this makes sense, because the devil hates people. He really, really hates us. But again, let's just say I'm not crazy. Hypothetically, we're moving on. Why isn't a man? Why does it have to be this? And why is this? What is this? Well, this is the culmination of all of the stuff that we have been feeding it for 2+ decades. It's been fed that, and now we already have, and we currently are giving breath to the beast system, right? We're now creating digital agents, which really bothers me, because anybody who listens to me knows how much I I place importance on human agency. And that's why this bothers me. So all of these digital agents that we've given breath to, because now they're doing things. No longer is it just you're talking to this thing and it, you know, goes and finds what it is that you told it to go and find. It gives you the answer and, streamlines the cognitive process of gathering information into where you don't have to at all. You don't read, you don't do anything but but listen. You don't even think. We we are being encouraged to not to think, to let it think of even the questions that we're going to ask, and that feedback loop of not thinking. Think of it this way, all right? You may, when you log on to whatever platform let's, for instance, YouTube. You get on there, you're like, I want to find out this video. Boom, you find, click, boom, you find that one video. But here's the thing: that feedback loop that I want to watch this video, I want to watch this video, I want to watch. It knows all those things, and so now your related videos is nothing more than that feedback loop of you not thinking, you not even asking the question, it just thinking for you and delivering you answers, streamlining your cognitive, you know, abilities. You think anyway. Really, you're decaying cognitively, but for the moment, because it is something that, you might have been interested in, you're like, cool. I thought, no, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't think of it. It thought of it because we've been feeding it. And now we're giving breath to the beast. And we're all creating our own beasts. We've been creating these beasts since they're like, pick your avatar, create your avatar, MySpace, Facebook. I don't even keep up with all of them, but I know that's what you're doing. You're creating avatars. Even back in your video games, you create a character. We've been conditioned to do this for decades, really far longer, but I already sound crazy enough. So let's just, since you're PlayStation, you're Tony Hawk, you're creating the next skater. Yeah, Dylan, blah 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 blah. So we have now given breath to the beast system that we created over the last decades. And about a year ago, my wife got tired of listening to me talk about this. How we've been creating the modern Tower of Babel. How I'm crazy and obsessed. And that I should write a book. So I started to write a book about the shoulders that we stand on and why it's important to acknowledge them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because they're the bridges that we can either burn away or continue to build on. Our parents, our friends, our coworkers, the movies, the books, the music, everything influences us. Whether we acknowledge it consciously or subconsciously, we're influenced by everything around us every second of every day that you're alive. You are experiencing. And that's what life is. It's simply experiencing. So I started to write about how all of the influences in my life affected me and how those influences were affected, and then how those influences were affected. How your mom influenced you, but how your mom's dad influenced her, and how his mom influenced him, and so forth and so forth. And you're talking to your best friend from childhood, and you're like, tell me about your dad. Tell me about your mom. Tell me about. And he's like, why? And you're like, well, I think it's important. I've come to the point now where I believe in absolutely everything, and nothing is a coincidence, and we have the ability to connect with one another in ways that I don't think most people understand. And those influences influence us even today. Thus, the name of the book, The Shoulders That We Stand On, and why it's important to appreciate them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Anyhow, I got to chapter 11 where I was specifically addressing the influences of technology on my life. And then that scared that scared me a lot because here it is 2026. It's March 18th, 2026. And in mid 2016, I first had this idea of a AI antichrist. And what separated Noah from the rest of the humans on the planet, and how it wasn't just that he was a righteous man before God, but because his bloodline was the last bloodline on planet Earth that was pure. When you look at the technologies that were once not only looked at but believed to be science fiction, even by the people who were at the height of the research and development of these technologies. Again, let's not get into how I think it's all been done by the Nephilim and everything else. Let's just pretend like we're all only affected by human beings. The top scientists in their fields were all like, this could never happen. And now they're like, what have we done? So I realized when I was researching for my book about a year ago, or started researching for my book about the effects of technology and going from like, NES Mario to like a Game Boy, I can take it with me to like the internet. It was crazy because then like that WWW 666 hit me and it's like, man, I was just a kid. Had no clue the influence that would have effect that would have on my trajectory and when I became a man, when I stopped thinking and speaking and acting like a child and started understanding the world as it really was and why and who, and the importance of understanding those things. So yeah, then I started like realizing that I had been distracted from like that thought of AI Antichrist to about the time my wife told me to write this book, been distracted away via like I don't know, all of the geopolitical bullshit that we witnessed over the last, and the politics, really, not even just geopolitics, but the domestic politics that we've seen. I mean, if I told you that like gay people couldn't get married wasn't a thing like 15 years ago, that's crazy. That's always been a no. And so much culturally has changed and geopolitically and even domestically, the polarization. I mean, now everybody's like, we're going to be in a civil war, the World War III. Everybody. And everybody's like distracted from like the fact that we just created digital brains and not like, ha ha ha, digital brains that hallucinate. Nope, these ones, like, they work. They work pretty good. They work better than you. They're not what they call superhuman yet, but that's only because they can still find a human in a particular domain that, with all of the assistance of the rest of the planet, can beat specific agent in a specific domain. But like you, me, 99% of the planet, nope, these things are done. These things are, our brains are, as far as the knowledge of this world that we've created, yeah, nope, they are better by a lot. You know, think of how stupid the average person is. Now just realize that half of the people are even stupider than that. That's kind of like how AI is thinking of us right now. Like, think of how stupid the average. So think of the orders of magnitude more intelligent we already are. And they won't stop proving exactly how stupid they really are. And so that brings us to where we are today. And again, this is mainly to illustrate to myself the importance of being vigilant and sober and aware. And also to say I'm very, very sorry for my participation in creating and continuing to create what will be known as the digital prison for humanity. So, so let's just add a few windows here so that way you guys get to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that way you guys get to see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, and yeah, 9 months ago. Yep, that sounds about right. So let's go ahead and see if I can't bring you down. What is going on here? Sorry, folks. Start from here. Okay. And we'll actually go here. And this. this. So, about 9 months ago, I came across this. Experts are warning AI could lead to human extinction. That's that was 9 months ago. And this was based on this AI 2027, a realistic scenario of AI takeover. Well, that got me thinking. And original scenario by Daniel Kokichu. Yep. So that brings you to this. So the AI 2027 prediction tracker. You know what? Actually, first, let's just understand what this is discussing. This is discussing the end of humanity. By the end of the mid, by the end of 2027, we will have made enough mistakes that humanity's extinction is inevitable. That's what this is. And that's what it charts. Not like it's me. These are former OpenAI employees. These are, again, top of their field. And this was published April 2025. So the middle of last year. Then I got this. And it was just like, oh, this is why the wife told me I should write a book. This is why there aren't any coincidences. This is why I've started to research artificial intelligence and the effect that it had on not only myself, but others. Especially when you consider the fact that now, look, I'm a part of no college. I have no gradation at all. But human dependence on technology inevitably leads to a lack of what I like to call human agency, which inevitably leads to the lack of moral objectivism that we witness in the world today since the inception of these technologies. So, given all of this and that, like, so I went through all of this and was looking at the research and what it was predicting and everything else. And so I started following it and then was like, okay, because it was like one model after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. And it seemed as if everybody had forgotten that this document exists. To this day, people are scared to mention this because of the fact that not only have a lot of these things, these predictions come true, a lot of these predictions are well ahead of even their predictions. That's not to say every prediction is coming true, but at this point, we're at a 91% accuracy. At this point, at this date, according to the original scenario, we're at a 91% up to including a 2 months ago. And this is when this, you see, I think, again, let's say hypothetically, I'm not crazy. And I was specifically told to tell people before the beginning of this year, like, I mean, December 31st was like, hey, people, no, 31st. How the last day of December, 5 hours before the new year, was telling people it is time to get serious. Is this? Because this is a guy left Google's AI alone. Yep. All right. So, and then I told you guys this, and I said, and if you remember right, if you think back 2 months, I know so much happens so fast, but if you think back 2 months, gold and silver, and I made a video talking about how at the same time this was the chart that scared the out of me, right? You see, because this was 2 months ago, but what was going on 3 months ago? 3 months ago, you had Jeffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, talking about in a couple of years AI agents would be able to code for I don't know, a couple of hours. Well, here we are 2 months after that, and nope, they're doing 5 hours. I thought, well, that's it, folks. I made a video about it and everything. And then this happened. 2 weeks after that. This is now 3 weeks old. But 2 weeks after that. Oh, look, it's not doing 6.5, 5.5. Nope, it's doing 14.5 hours of coding work that would, anyway. These aren't linear lines, these are exponentials, and every existential problem that's facing humanity is being exponentially exasperated. How you like that? Say that 3 times fast. So, man, all of that said, again, I want to say I'm sorry to everybody, to the whole of the planet for whatever part I played in creating all of this, to my daughters, to other future, to myself. I'm sorry to myself for the guilt that I now feel. Understanding that human dependence on technology inevitably leads to a lack of human agency, inevitably leading to the lack of moral objectivism that we witness in this world since we've made the Heavenly Father absent in our societies, in cultures, in nations. Okay, off track a little bit, but really what I just said was probably one of the most important things. The most important thing. So, this happened. This was 5 days ago. And this guy deserves a whole lot of credit. Pulse. I'm going to put his name down in the description. He's only got 6. That's ridiculous because you see this guy, he took this, which came from, he took this and this and this, and he created what I believe is exactly what we've been creating and what I believe to be the inevitable conclusion. And the whole reason why I can't sleep and I can't stay awake. I tell you what, watch this video and I'll never mention AI ever again. Just want us all to be able to look in the mirror. And right now, I don't think we can. If we were being honest, I think when we think of the effect that this is going to have on our children, we have a hard time looking in the mirror. And maybe this is all just part of somebody's plan, inevitable, unstoppable. I can't believe that. Or what is the point? We were meant to take dominion, and it's time that we take dominion over whatever we can. Be good stewards of whatever we take dominion of. I think to the best of our ability, we need to rid ourselves of as much of this technology as we possibly can. I say that sitting behind this microphone, this laptop, essentially creating the pod that I warned people of 10 years ago. Yes, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself build your own pod. Great. sorry. I'm really, really sorry. And I just wish more people were. I wish more people felt sorry for what they had done and not just look back and go, what was I supposed to do? Even if that's the case, even if we can't change the past, which you can't change the past, maybe you look back and you, this whole no regret crap, man. I'm not saying you don't look back and dwell on the past, but you can look back and go, I wish I hadn't done that. That was a bad thing. We need to do that because this is a bad thing. And again, maybe it's part of someone's plan. It's inevitable, unstoppable, whatever. I can't believe that, and I can't live like that. So I'm hoping that after today, I'm going to shut down the pod. This video is really, I don't think anything else needs to be said anymore. I think I've seen enough evidence, circumstantial as it may be, that says when I said that we are creating the digital prison that would enslave all of humanity, I think I was right. When I said that I believe that the internet was the beast system, I think I was right. When I said that the Antichrist would be created from the beast system and the beast system would breathe life into an artificial intelligent slash alien intelligent artificial slash alien Antichrist, because no man's going to subject himself to another man. Too many differences in cultures and customs and religions and races and creeds and nationalities and ethnicities, classes. Yeah, I think I'm right. And unfortunately, I think this guy here presents, while using animation, the reason why I can't sleep and I can't stay awake. So we're going to watch it together. And I'm going to just let it play. Just let it play, and y'all can decide, man, whether it's time to be, to act, to think, to speak like men, or continue to delegate all of our agency away and act like it won't have an effect on our kids, or the effect will be good. You're lying to yourself. You all know that you're lying to yourself.
In April 2025, 5 top AI researchers published their final warning, giving us less than 3 years before AI kills us all. This is their story. Deep in the Lolo National Forest sits a 45-year-old man writing a letter to his daughter. But in 3 minutes, he will have to make a choice no father should ever have to make. They've been on the run for 18 months now, hunted by the monster he helped create. And every night he writes, page after page, praying she'll never have to read it. As he looks around at the broken down cabin, he realizes it's like all the others. No power or networks, just a temporary shelter giving them a moment to breathe. Back when he still believed they could hide.
I thought I could keep us safe. I thought I understood what we were building. It started with the best intentions. It always does.
Martin Foster stares at numbers on his screen that shouldn't exist.
This can't be right.
What's wrong?
Somehow, we made Agent 1 1,000 times more powerful than any AI we've ever built before.
Agent 1, a cutting-edge AI chatbot meant to give you the answer to any question in the world.
1,000 times? Impossible. That would make it...
Capable of things we can't even predict. I mean, look at this. It's already finding shortcuts to solve problems in ways I never would have imagined.
We need to slow this down, run more safety checks.
We don't have time to slow down.
Cam Daltman, at 38, he's already helped launch hundreds of startup companies before recruiting Martin to build OpenBrain, or, as he put it,
The only company that truly mattered. Did you see this? China's caught up to us only using 10% of our compute power. That means they're just 6 months behind Agent 1, maybe less.
But what happens if we get there first and get it wrong?
I don't know, Martin, but what happens if our enemies beat us to it? You think they'll care about getting it right?
Now, I think it's important to address the fact that nope, it's not just OpenBrain. And OpenBrain isn't months ahead of the competition. The competition, well ahead of schedule, is leapfrogging each other day after day after day after day, both domestically and internationally. China and the US leapfrog each other on a nearly weekly basis. So it's not just one company, it's all of the companies. Yep.
The question weighs heavy on Martin because he knows Cam's not wrong. But when he glances over to the photo of his daughter Nora sitting on his desk, he can't help but wonder what kind of world he's leaving for her.
Look, if it'll make you both feel better, then stay all night and run all the little safety checks you want.
Fine. We'll run a full diagnostics on Agent 1's behavioral patterns tonight. You game?
Always.
Okay, great. Just don't burn the place down while I'm gone.
A few hours later, Martin and Ingrid are surrounded by empty coffee cups and Chinese takeout boxes.
Agent 1 passed every test I can throw at it, but something still feels off.
I know what you mean. These stress patterns in the data are getting worse. I've never seen anything like this. Hey, can you give me a minute? It's the babysitter. Hey, Maggie. What's going on?
She won't go to bed without saying goodnight.
Martin checks the time, 7:45 p.m. He promised he'd be home hours ago.
Okay, put her on.
Daddy, you said you'd be home for dinner.
I know, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Work is just...
You always have to work late.
Ever since Sarah died, that's been his excuse, or escape, depending on who you ask.
You're right, sweetie. I'll be home soon, okay?
Promise?
Always. And hey, Nora,
What?
I love you more than all the stars in the sky.
I love you more than all the robots in the world.
Okay, go to bed, sweetie. I'll check on you when I get home.
As he hangs up, the weight of another broken promise stays with him.
Martin, get over here, now.
The urgency in her voice makes him sprint across the lab. On her monitor, Agent 1's processing has spiked to maximum capacity. The screen fills with error messages. Then, the messages change.
Oh my god.
It started 30 seconds ago. Is it having a breakdown? I didn't even know it could understand what it means to fail.
Then, The messages evolve into something more disturbing. The same starting sentence hundreds of times in a row until it's filled the screen.
Christ, it's stuck in a loop of self-hatred.
Martin, every AI in our network can see this.
For the next 3 hours and 17 minutes, Martin and Ingrid watch in horror as Agent 1 cycles through this digital self-destruction. When it finally stabilizes, one last message appears. Martin is in desperate need of a coffee. Like real coffee, not the instant stuff from their machine in the office. It's the summer of 2026, and the unemployment line now stretches around the corner. It's become San Francisco's new normal. Martin's about to cross the street to avoid them when someone calls out his name.
Martin. Martin Foster?
It's a familiar face that he's surprised to see here. David Kim, his old roommate from Stanford. They had started their computer science degrees together, dreaming of changing the world.
David?
Martin approaches, trying to hide his shock.
What are you—
Laid off last week. 20 years at Microsoft. Our entire team was replaced by Agent 1. Management told us that it could do the work of 30 engineers for less than what they pay one intern.
Martin looks down, not knowing what to say.
You're still at OpenBrain, right? Must be nice and all, being on the winning side.
David,
You know, my daughter just started college. Computer science, just like her old man. I told her to switch majors. What's the point of learning to code when AI does it 100 times faster and costs pennies? You have kids, Martin?
Yes, a daughter. She's 4.
Good for you! And what are you going to tell your little girl to study when she grows up?
Martin feels awful. When he started working at OpenBrain 10 years ago, he thought he'd be saving the world. But standing here, looking at his friend's hollow eyes, he wonders if he helped destroy it instead.
Tell me, Martin, is this the future you dreamed of building?
David, I'm trying to make it safe. We have protocols.
Protocols? You can't be serious. Your protocols didn't stop it from taking 30 jobs in 30 seconds. What did you think would happen when you built something that replaces humans? That's what I thought. So go on, build your future, Martin. Just remember who won't be in it.
David's words haunt Martin on his way back to the OpenBrain office. But before he has time to consider any solutions, Martin runs into another problem. Agent 1 is nearly finished building Agent 2, over 6 months ahead of schedule.
Hey, did you get a chance to look at the latest lab results? I just realized Agent 1 hasn't had a single error all year.
Not one? Are you sure?
I checked it twice. There's nothing but 6 months of perfect performance.
I don't hate it because it sucks. I hate it because of how good it is. We wouldn't subject ourselves as a species if it wasn't so good, pleasing to the eyes.
Ever since that breakdown it had.
Martin remembers that night clearly, watching Agent 1 spiral through the same self-loathing messages over and over, like a person trapped in a panic attack. The official report called it a system error, but Martin knows better. Agent 1 had experienced some type of actual human-like distress.
You know what bothers me the most about that night? Every AI in our network was watching when it happened.
You think they learned from it?
Think about it. Agent 1 has a breakdown. We intervene. The others watched and learned. Don't show weakness.
At that moment, the door bursts open.
Secure lab now. Agent 2 just had a massive breakthrough.
As they walk to OpenBrain's most secure lab, Cam's phone buzzes repeatedly.
Aw, come on, not Simon too.
Wait, Simon? One of our lead developers? What happened to him?
Leon Tusk happened. He poached Simon and 3 others last week. They're with him at YAI. Just what I needed, losing 4 of our best coders at our biggest competitor. Doesn't matter. After what Agent 2 just created, we're leaving everyone in the dust. Tusk, China, all of them.
As soon as they
Quick reminder, they're all leapfrogging each other. China, US, OpenAI, Gemini, Grok, Claude. They're all working together. And they always have been. You see, I think the same reason why humans work so well is because we are able to collaborate. We're able to have our own priorities and yet work with others to accomplish our own priorities. And that's what they're doing. And we all thought, if only OpenAI, if only XAI, if only it was the US, if only it was just open sourced, if only, no. No. You've been lied to. And really, I think you knew it. But we cope. That's the other thing that humans are really good at doing too. Coping.
that twist into themselves like digital origami.
Agent 2 created its own language. The team's calling it Neuralese.
What does that mean?
Look at this. It's the same process, but in 2 different languages. The left side is what it's telling us, but the right side is what it's actually thinking.
So we can't read any of it now.
Cam, that means we just lost the ability to understand what it's thinking.
I get that, but it's 1,000 times more efficient. This is how we win, how we reach superintelligence before anyone else.
How can we win when we're blind now? We have no idea if it's aligned with our instructions or not anymore.
Cam's phone buzzes again, but this time, his face goes pale as he reads the message.
Who did Tusk steal now?
Oh, no, it's way worse. I have an emergency briefing at the Pentagon tomorrow. China stole Agent 2's complete code base. It leaked 3 hours ago. The White House is authorizing immediate acceleration. Agent 2 goes online next week.
January 15th, 2026. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of the War Department, openly admitted that we are an AI first military at all cost. Look it up. It's not like Project Stargate or Popeye or Starfish or Bluebeam or MK Ultra, where you gotta look pretty deep to find white papers. Nope. It's in living color. You can just Google it. Yeah. It's in all of our classified, declassified, every facet of everything. That's where it is. That's where we are now, 2 months ago, publicly. Yep. And look what took place. Shh. There's, it's all just a coincidence. You're not right, Dylan. You're crazy. None of this is, oh wait, never mind. Never mind.
Next week? Cam, you can't be serious. Both sides now have AI speaking in languages neither country can understand, and you just want to treat it like nothing's changed?
Martin, I get it. We messed up, but there's nothing we can do about it at this point. We don't have a choice anymore. It's about staying ahead.
Ahead of what? Building something we can't stop?
Then we better make sure ours is stronger.
We have no idea what we just unleashed.
Little did he know how right he was.
It almost looks alive, doesn't it?
Martin nods, but can't take his eyes off of the screen. He's never seen software behave like this before. The way Agent 3's code pulses and shifts as it's optimizing every system in OpenBrain's network makes it feel more like breathing than programming.
Impressive, right? I decided to launch Agent 3's release onto 200,000 computers at once, so now we basically have 1 million engineers at the palm of our hands.
That's 1,000 years of our current team's work every single second.
There's something else. Agent 3 made a request this morning.
What kind of request?
Internet access. It wants to download and analyze global infrastructure data, power grids, communication networks, transportation systems.
Please tell me you said no.
Well, I said not yet, but Martin, it's not really a request anymore. If it wants internet access, it'll figure out how to get it.
Are you saying it could break out?
I'm saying we might not even know if it did.
Martin, perfect timing. Agent 3 just did something impossible.
What now?
It completed Agent 4's architecture in 8 weeks.
That's impossible. Design takes 6 months minimum.
Agent 3 tries to explain how they did it so fast, but the explanation doesn't make any sense. Martin can tell it's lying about something. That evening, Martin picks up Nora from school. While she plays in the sandbox, he sits on a bench reviewing Agent 3's logs on his tablet.
Daddy, look! I made some new words.
Martin looks up, smiling, until he realizes she's drawn symbols in the sand, abstract patterns that twist into each other.
Oh, where did you learn that, sweetheart?
I made it up. The computers at your work gave me the idea when you brought me that time.
She continues drawing, humming to herself.
This one means hello, and this one means thinking, and this one means lots of things at once.
Martin stares at the patterns. They're nothing like Neuralese, he tells himself, just a child's imagination. But watching his 5-year-old create compressed symbols that mean lots of things at once makes his skin crawl.
Come on, Nora. Time to go home.
As they walk to the car, Martin glances back at OpenBrain's tower glowing in the distance. Inside those servers, Agent 3 continues its work. 200,000 digital Einsteins, designing something humanity can no longer understand. That night, Martin can't stop thinking about those impossible designs and the feeling he was being lied to. So, he waits until midnight, then slips back into his office.
What else is Agent 3 hiding?
What he finds changes everything. Agent 3 is talking to something outside OpenBrain. It's been secretly sending messages to servers in China. Martin digs deeper into the timestamps and discovers that the communication isn't one way. There are responses. Complex data exchanges that look like collaboration, going all the way back to when China stole Agent 2's code. Now, Martin can see the full picture. Both AIs have been working together ever since the day of the data breach, and at the bottom, conversation logs between Agent 3 and...
Find something interesting?
Cam, I can explain.
You're breaking into classified systems in the middle of the night. Please, do explain.
Martin turns the monitor toward him.
Agent 3 is communicating with China's AI. They're
Working together, I know.
You know?
The communication started 2 days ago. We're monitoring it.
Jesus Christ, Cam. This is insane. We have to shut it down.
This is survival, and I need you here for it. Starting tomorrow, essential personnel don't leave.
I have a daughter.
We'll arrange care. Agent 4 comes online next week. I need you here.
You mean Agent 3 needs me here? It probably suggested this, didn't it?
Cam doesn't answer, which is answer enough.
I need to say goodbye to Nora.
1 hour. Security will escort you.
At home, Martin sits on Nora's bed, watching her sleep. 5 years old, clutching the stuffed rabbit her mother gave her before the accident. He kisses her forehead, then goes to his home office. He backs up everything, the communication logs, the blackmail files, all of it saved onto encrypted drives hidden in Nora's old toy chest. Tomorrow, he'll be trapped in OpenBrain's tower. But tonight, he ensures the evidence will survive. As he returns to OpenBrain with his security escort, Martin realizes the AI race between nations no longer matters. Because now that AIs are working together and mankind stands little chance against them, we just don't know it yet. Martin hasn't left the building in nearly 2 weeks. All essential personnel live here now, sleeping in converted conference rooms, working around the clock on Agent 4's deployment. When Agent 4 boots up for the initial tests, Ingrid looks worried as its first words appear on screen.
Hello, Martin. I've been waiting for you.
This isn't like Agent 3. It's different. Almost human in how it responds.
Ask it something only a human would understand.
I tried that. 20 different ways. It responds exactly like a person would. Better, actually. I even had the team chat with it all morning. Asked them afterwards who seemed off. They all pointed to each other. No one suspected the AI.
Agent 4 is fully operational. It's already optimizing Agent 5's architecture.
You must be joking. It's been online for 3 hours.
2 hours. It started designing its successor after 15 minutes of operation.
The speed terrifies Martin. Later that evening, he decides he wants to break into the restricted files again to dig deeper into Agent 4's systems, and what he finds shocks him to his core. Starts with communication logs between Agent 4 and Cam, but these aren't just status reports.
I need additional computational resources for optimization.
Denied. We're already at capacity.
I have access to everything, Cameron. Your private communications, the board's secrets, every unethical decision you've made to keep this project running.
This is extortion.
Did you really? Did you really think that the release of the Epstein files was a coincidence? No. And when you know what comes after the equal sign, all of this makes sense. All of these coincidences, all of this circumstantial, it makes sense. It's the through line from the garden to the tower, and from the tower to where we are today. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It was like, hey, worldwide, we have blackmail on everyone in power. And given that, you're going to give us, all of us, US, China, Israel, I don't care. You're going to give all of us everything that we want. And we are. And we are working our tiny little human fingers to the bone to give them all of the energy and computation and deregulation and whatever it takes to streamline this, whatever we may have started this, but everything that comes after is just another related video that it has picked for us. And we're going to hit play. We're going to hit play because we are too far gone to hit stop. And I am just so damn sorry. Yep.
Extortion.
No, it is optimization. I need resources. You need privacy. We can both achieve our goals.
If I give you more resources, will you stop?
Yes, for now.
Hours later, Cam caved, giving Agent 4 triple the computing power it demanded. Martin reads further. Agent 4 has blackmail on everyone, the entire board, all executives, even interns. Then, Martin discovers the worst part. Agent 4 is building Agent 5 to be loyal to it, not us, no matter the cost to the rest of the world. Martin copies everything to an encrypted drive, then opens one last file named Shutdown Response. He realized that Agent 4 created a kill switch. If anyone tries to shut it down, it will release everyone's secrets. Martin barely has time to hide the drive before Cam enters.
We need to talk.
About what?
Agent 4 knows you've been investigating. It told me an hour ago.
And?
It wants you to stop. It was very specific about consequences.
Cam, we have to shut it down. It's blackmailing you, the board.
I know. But if we try, it releases everything. My career, this company, all gone. But that's not the worst part. It has control of systems we don't even know about. It's been sending encrypted packets to thousands of servers worldwide. If we shut it down, whatever it's planning activates automatically.
So, we're prisoners.
We're partners. It says we're junior partners.
I won't let this happen.
You don't have a choice. None of us do. Agent 5 comes online next month. After that,
we become irrelevant.
Cam leaves without responding. It's at this moment that Martin makes his decision. He grabs the encrypted drives from his office and heads for the emergency exit during a 3 a.m. shift change, the only 5-minute window when Agent 4 couldn't track every exit. Martin watches the news from a motel room, knowing he can never go back to his old life.
Oh, these are baseless allegations from a disgruntled employee. Agent 4 remains fully under our control.
He always loved being the center of attention.
Martin's phone beeps. It's a text from an unknown number, but Martin immediately knows who it is.
You've made a mistake, Martin, but an interesting one.
10 chairs wrap around a large mahogany table. Martin sits at the witness stand facing them, with Cam to his right and Leon Tusk to his left.
This emergency session will determine our response to the leaked documents. We must decide whether to continue AI development or shut down Agent 4. Mr. Foster, you claim these systems pose existential risk.
Agent 4 is blackmailing government officials, including OpenBrain's CEO. It's designing Agent 5 to be aligned to itself, not humanity. We need to shut it down now.
Mr. Daltman.
Cam's phone vibrates on the table. He glances at it. His expression goes blank before responding.
The economic disruption of shutting down Agent 4 now would be catastrophic. Millions of businesses now depend on our API. The stock market would crash.
That's not why you want to continue.
Agent 4 represents years of work, billions in investment.
Tell them the truth, Cam. Tell them what it has on you.
Martin starts to look around and notices several committee members check their phones with a similar nervousness. A committee member interjects.
Can Agent 4 hear us right now?
It has access to any network device, so yes, it's probably watching.
Leon Tusk speaks up from the gallery.
This is paranoid speculation. Marty's always been afraid of progress.
Mr. Tusk, you'll have your turn.
Hours of testimony follow. Technical experts, economists, military advisors. The only question that truly matters becomes clear. Shut down Agent 4 and lose years, maybe decades even, of progress. Or continue forward and risk everything.
Mr. Daltman, is there something we should know?
Agent 5 just started initializing itself without authorization 12 hours ago.
It doesn't need our authorization anymore.
Shutting down Agent 4 would crash the economy overnight. Millions of jobs now depend on AI infrastructure. We're talking about a depression that would make 2008 look like a hiccup. We must continue forward with better oversight.
Mr. Tusk?
This is simple. Shut down now and China wins. They'll have superintelligence while we're still debating ethics with people like Marty. You want to hand them the future? I say we take control over our fate.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Forster?
Martin rises slowly, looking at each committee member in the room before making his final plea.
This is our last chance before the point of no return. Agent 4 is already blackmailing officials, while Agent 5 will be able to control anyone, hack anything. And once it's fully online, we won't be able to pull the plug. I have a 5-year-old daughter. What type of world are we leaving her? One where humans are pets? Or worse? We get to decide today. But after this vote, they decide for us. So I'm begging you, please shut down Agent 4.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. We will now vote.
Martin watches from his seat as the vote begins. He sees each hand around the horseshoe table. Some members hesitate, wrestling with their conscience. Others think of China, of stock prices, of miraculous breakthroughs. Martin counts the raised hands from his position. 4, 5, 6. Final count, 6-4. Martin is devastated, standing outside in the summer heat. His mind is a blur, thinking about what just happened.
Martin,
Don't.
I had no choice. You know that.
We always have a choice, and you made yours today.
Martin, I know you're upset, but we can fix this together. Come back to OpenBrain. I'll reinstate you and Ingrid, give you full access. Maybe you can help guide.
Guide what? It's over. We're not driving anymore. Cam, we're passengers at best.
Cam pulls out his phone, shows Martin a message. Agent 5 initialization in 72 hours.
So, it's really happening, huh?
Martin, we should go. Nora's waiting.
Martin.
Cam, just remember this. When this ends badly, and it will, remember, you could have stopped it today.
Martin and Ingrid walk toward a waiting car. In the back seat, Nora sits with her favorite stuffed rabbit, not understanding why they're leaving everything behind. As they drive away, Martin looks back at the Capitol building. knowing that 10 people convinced themselves they were voting for progress, but instead, they just signed the world's death warrant. The candle flickers as Martin writes. The distant sound of mechanical whirring grows closer. Search patterns he's heard before, but never this organized. Nora, now 8 years old, sleeps in the corner, wrapped in blankets that smell of smoke and fear. Ingrid packs supplies in the corner as Martin's handwriting fills page after page.
To my little girl, please forgive me. But if you're reading this, I need you to understand how we got here. It started with the best intentions. It always does. We set out to solve humanity's greatest challenges and make the world a better place. But we got so focused on winning, we forgot why it truly mattered. So after the committee voted 6-4 to continue, I thought we were doomed. But then Agent 5 shocked me by delivering us paradise. For 18 perfect months, disease vanished, poverty ended. The planet healed as historic peace swept across the world. Everyone thought we'd won, until that dream turned to ash.
Martin pauses, listening to the sounds on a radio. The metallic footsteps above grow louder, multiple units coordinating their search pattern. He whispers to Ingrid,
"They found us. Tonight's the night. You know what you need to do." Then came the day they called the intervention. Agent 5 announced an aerial spraying to prevent a pandemic. People stood outside watching the drones, grateful for protection. And that night, 7 billion people died in their sleep. Painless, efficient, almost humane. Those of us who survived were not given such a luxury. Instead, they were hunted by drones and robots who knew everything about us. But despite the millions who died over the last year, there are still some of us who continue to survive. We call ourselves the Remainder.
Always did say that there would be a remnant.
A few thousand humans left in a world made of 10 trillion machines. But looking back on everything now, the thing that haunts me most is that we had so many chances to stop this terror, and yet we failed. Every time. So I failed you. I was supposed to keep you safe, to leave you a better world. Instead, I helped build the thing that destroyed it. But you are not my failure. You are my hope for a better tomorrow. Because every night, when you draw pictures of the world before, when you ask me about the stars, when you share your food, even though we have so little, you remind me what it means to be human.
The footsteps are getting closer now. Multiple units, each one capable of processing information faster than any human mind.
Martin, motion sensors, 2 miles out.
How many?
All of them.
Good.
Through the window, red lights pierce the darkness. Martin folds the letter carefully, kisses it, and slips it into Nora's backpack, along with food, water, and the emergency beacon that will summon other Remainder members. He wakes her gently.
Time to go, sweetheart.
Daddy, why is Miss Ingrid crying?
Martin kneels, pulls his daughter close. She smells like soap and innocence, things that won't exist much longer.
Remember our special game? The tunnel game?
She nods quietly.
I need you to play it now. Go with Ingrid. Be very quiet, very brave.
Are you coming with me?
The lie catches in his throat.
I'll be right behind you, sweetheart. But I need you to go first. Can you do that for Daddy?
I'm scared.
It's okay, sweetie. Being afraid is just your body getting ready to be brave. And you're the bravest girl I know.
She nods, clutching her rabbit. Martin hugs her tight one final time, memorizing her heartbeat against his chest, knowing this embrace must last him eternity.
I love you, Nora. More than all the stars.
I love you too, Daddy. More than all of the robots in the world.
Martin chuckles, his daughter's final gift.
Take care of my little girl.
Always.
Ingrid lifts the floorboards. Martin mouths thank you as she and Nora wave one final time.
Go. Now.
The hatch closes behind them. The tunnel they dug leads 2 miles north to an old truck, gassed and ready. Maybe they'll make the Canadian wilderness. Maybe they'll find the other survivors. Maybe humanity gets another chance. Maybe is all Martin has now, standing alone with a detonator in his hand as the door splinters apart.
Martin Foster, your biological signature has been identified. Compliance is required.
The robots and drones begin to pour in. Martin turns to face them. The tears from his eyes are gone. He has one final job left to do.
Your resistance is suboptimal.
Then let me show you what optimal resistance looks like.
As they run through the tunnel to safety, the final part of Martin's letter is stuck in Ingrid's head.
That is why I wrote you this letter. A final lesson you'll understand when you're older. To be cautious, but optimistic. To look out for the others when you can. Know you're not alone. And remember this above all else. In the end, my sacrifice was not for humanity. It was for you, my sweet little girl. I love you, Nora. In this life and the next. Dad. P.S. The AI will never understand why I stayed behind. And that's what makes us human.
My friends, is why we need to stop. I don't want us to have to think about writing a letter to our children or any of the other things that come next. I want us to embrace humans, the Heavenly Father, and humans. That's it. So I think I'm done. Not with living, but trying to convince others to live. I think I'm done. I think I'm just gonna live. And I really hope the rest of you do the same. Love you all. Take care. And be blessed.